Dallas, Texas, 2002, the Jefferson Museum of Antiquities. Rain streaked down the wide glass panels of the Jefferson Museum of Antiquities, a brutalist slab of concrete and steel nestled along Ross Avenue in downtown Dallas. Thunder rolled in the distance, dulled by the thick walls and the low hum of fluorescent lights. It was nearly midnight, and only one soul remained inside the museum, a night security guard named Alan Mercer. Alan, a former Marine with a steady hand and nerves like steel, had worked this job for 4 years without a single incident beyond the occasional raccoon triggering the motion sensors. But ever since the Sands of the Pharaohs exhibit opened 2 weeks ago, something had shifted in the air, like the museum itself was holding its breath. The centerpiece of the exhibit was a sarcophagus belonging to a lesser-known priest of Anubis named Kemhotep, unearthed near Abydos and shipped under heavy protest from the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities. Rumor had it one of the dig workers collapsed after uncovering the tomb's seal, his mouth frozen in a scream no one could explain. The curator, Dr. Leslie Graham, dismissed it all as romantic nonsense. Alan didn't believe in curses, but he couldn't explain the chill that clung to the eastern wing, even in the Texas heat, or the way the Jackal statues seemed to shift positions ever so slightly every night, or how the security cameras in room 14, the Egyptian wing, went black from 2:13 to 2:17 a.m. every morning without fail. That night, Alan patrolled the halls, maglite in hand, the rubber soles of his boots whispering against polished tile. The lights flickered as he approached the sarcophagus. He paused. Something smelled wrong, acrid like burning hair and rotting roses. Then the lights died all at once. "Damn it," Alan muttered, smacking his flashlight until the beam returned. The sarcophagus lid was cracked open. Alan froze. He was sure it had been sealed shut. Dr. Graham had even shown him the ancient wax and said it hadn't been broken in 3,000 years. A low whisper echoed from behind the display case. It wasn't the wind. It was syllabic, chanting almost.
Ancient Alan crept closer, the flashlight trembling in his hand.
The beam fell across the base of the pedestal, where something had been scrawled in fresh black ink. "The Jackal awaits his offering." Before Alan could react, a crack snapped behind him. He turned. Nothing. Just the quiet beat of the rain on the roof. He exhaled and turned back toward the sarcophagus. It was open, and it was empty. The whispering stopped. Alan backed away slowly, heart hammering in his chest. His radio crackled to life. Security, come in. Room 14. He raised the handset. "This is Mercer, I'm in room 14. Static. Then a growl, low, guttural, bestial, filled the radio. Then silence. Alan spun on his heel and bolted, the flashlight dancing wildly across cases of canopic jars and golden amulets. But as he reached the corridor, the emergency shutter slammed down with a clang, trapping him inside the exhibit hall. The temperature plummeted. Frost formed on the inside of the glass cases. From the far end of the gallery near the statue of Anubis, something stepped out of the shadows. It stood nearly 7 feet tall, man-shaped but wrong. Its body was wrapped in moldy linen, blackened with age, but its head was a jackal's, long snout, gleaming fangs, and golden eyes that burned like twin suns. In its clawed hand, it held a rusted crook. Alan raised his flashlight like a weapon. "Stay back!" The jackal-headed figure tilted its head. Then it spoke, not with words, but straight into his mind. "You desecrate the silence of the dead. The balance must be restored," Alan screamed. Yet the museum opened late the next morning. Dr. Graham found room 14 sealed tight. When the staff finally forced the emergency shutter open, they found no sign of Alan Mercer, just his flashlight, cracked and flickering on the floor, and a smear of black soot near the sarcophagus. That afternoon, visitors crowded around the now-closed exhibit, whispering about the tragedy. A little boy pointed at the jackal statue at the far end of the room. "Mommy," he said, "that dog wasn't there yesterday." And to this day, the museum refuses to display anything from ancient Egypt. And if you find yourself alone after hours, some say you can still hear the whisper of the jackal, waiting.